Fever down! Bow, bow, bow!
Man, I think it's the next step up mentality as far as players. Our shifts keep changing. Everybody doing a different role, and so I think we all got the mentality where you give and you sacrifice, and I think that's what y'all see.
The Indiana Fever just shocked everyone by winning without Caitlin Clark on the court. They were up against a tough Dallas Wings team coming off a hard loss, and it looked like things would go badly. A crowd of over 20,000 came expecting to see Clark face Paige Bueckers for the first time, but instead, they witnessed something even more amazing. What happened in the final minutes showed a new side of this Fever team. And after the game, Aliyah Boston said 6 powerful words that showed just how much this win meant. If you support the Fever, comment "I've got the Fever." But let's go!
I think for us, it's about knowing that basketball is a game of runs. And they made their run in that third quarter. And honestly, just continue to stay composed and take it each possession at a time is something that we've been working on. And so for us, that was our focus, is get a stop, go down and score, get another stop, and we try to get a kill.
Imagine the hype everyone in the WNBA world was talking about it. Clark versus Bueckers. The number 1 pick from 2024 against the top pick from 2025. This wasn't just another game. It was the showdown fans had been waiting for since draft night. The Dallas Wings knew it was going to be huge, so they made a bold move, shifting the game from their regular arena to the massive American Airlines Center, home of the Mavericks. You don't make that kind of change unless you expect something big. Fans rushed to buy tickets, social media exploded, and all signs pointed to a record-breaking night that would show how far women's basketball has come.
Finding out this morning that we probably need to hold out again today. It really is a day-to-day thing. And I think for us, making sure that we're prioritizing her long-term health and wellness. It's anybody who's had some of these types of injuries understand that sometimes it's a process. She's a quick healer, and she's been doing everything that she can to get back on the floor. So, we just want to make sure that we're hypersensitive to the big picture.
Then boom, just 2 nights before the big game, Caitlin Clark's groin injury flares up. Suddenly, the most anticipated matchup of the season is in serious doubt. Thousands of fans had bought tickets just to see Clark and Bueckers go head-to-head. And now the star everyone came to see might not even step on the court. A
disappointment for them more than anything, because, you want them to see her at her best and us at our best. I hate that for fans, but at the same time, again, for us as a team, and for Caitlin as a person and player, her health and wellness is the priority.
But here's what made everything even more intense. The Fever had just been blown out by the Los Angeles Sparks the night before. Without Clark, the team looked completely lost. The pace dragged, ball movement was a mess, and Aliyah Boston hardly got the ball. Everything that usually makes Indiana a threat completely collapsed without their star leading the way.
The biggest thing for us is our attention to detail in our screening. We've got to be great screeners. We got to make sure we slow down and use our screen and our spacing. We've had some games where our spacing has been poor, and that has not allowed Kelsey to get downhill, and it hasn't allowed space for Aliyah to get going either. So I think that the 2 most important things for us right now offensively is attention to detail and screening and spacing.
Dallas was ready. They knew what usually happens when the Fever play without Clark. The offense slows down, Boston gets overlooked, and the whole system falls apart. This looked like the perfect chance for the Wings to dominate a struggling, injured team. But here's what no one saw coming. Even with Clark not confirmed to play, 20,049 fans still showed up. That's right, they broke the Texas women's basketball attendance record without knowing if the main star would even take the court. Just imagine what that says about how powerful this rivalry is, and how far women's basketball has come.
We'll start Ari today. We'll start her and bring Sid off the bench a little bit. I don't want to take Kelsey out of what she naturally does instinctually on the wing and overload her from a point guard perspective. So with having Ari and having Sid, they'll give us a couple different looks right there.
The Wings came into the game thinking they had a wounded team cornered, but Coach Stephanie White had a surprise up her sleeve. She shocked everyone by starting Ari McDonald for the first time, shaking up the expected lineup. No one knew what this new look would bring. What happened next revealed a side of the Fever that even their biggest fans hadn't seen before. The stage was set for a meltdown or a miracle. Then the first quarter tipped off, and something incredible happened. The Fever didn't just survive without Clark, they exploded. Ari McDonald brought a fiery energy, pushing the pace like everything was on the line.
Charles can't finish.
Gotta finish that.
Oh, beautiful pass. McDonald counted in one.
She's running the offense so smoothly, it's easy to forget Caitlin Clark isn't even on the floor. Dallas came in with one plan: shut down Kelsey Mitchell, and the Fever would crumble. But out of nowhere, Ari McDonald flips the script. Her relentless downhill attack catches the Wings completely off guard. She's slicing through the defense, creating chaos, and opening up lanes that haven't been there all season. Dallas wasn't ready for this, and it showed.
Finish.
As a big, you gotta lean in. You can't be falling away.
McDonald has been outstanding.
Here's what makes it even more impressive. McDonald was perfect from the field in the first quarter. She wasn't just tossing up shots. She was making smart, controlled plays that set up her teammates beautifully. The Fever came out firing, hitting their first 7 shots in a row. 7 straight makes to start the game. That kind of execution is rare, and it sent a clear message. This team came to play, with or without Clark.
Side can't get it. Liu Roof can't. Here comes Natasha Howard. 9-0 run for Indiana. Lexi Hull carries the 3. You gotta get out on her, ladies. She's shooting 51% from beyond the arc.
Aliyah Boston finally started getting the touches she'd been missing, and you could see her confidence growing with every possession. With McDonald's speed keeping the defense honest, Boston had the space to work in the paint, and she took full advantage. She scored efficiently, crashed the boards, and played like she'd been waiting all season for this kind of opportunity. The Wings had no choice but to respect both threats, and it completely changed the game.
Shooting to open the game. The Wings are only 2 of 14. Howard lobs it inside Boston, and Maisha Hines-Allen got lost. Allowed for the easy 2.
And you down to Natasha, and she's going to get in the paint. And so the defense has to step up to protect the drive. And now she puts that air on the ball, and AB is able to finish that shot at the rim. That was beautiful.
The crowd that showed up to see Clark versus Buchers ended up witnessing something entirely different, something special. They watched a team come together and realize their full potential when everyone steps up. This wasn't about one star carrying the load, it was about 5 players moving in perfect sync. By the end of the first quarter, Indiana led 33-13. Just think about that, they outscored Dallas by 20 points in just 12 minutes. Even some Dallas fans were on their feet, applauding the level of basketball they were seeing. That kind of respect from opposing fans? You don't see it often.
This is what they do.
Yep. Sometimes you're going to have some back-to-back games. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get in the gym and practice. Got it.
Huh.
Good night.
And again, the veteran schools the rookie.
Kelsey Mitchell started heating up during the run, but she wasn't forcing anything. The ball was moving beautifully, creating open looks for everyone. Mitchell dropped 10 points in the first quarter alone, all within the natural flow of the offense. This wasn't just about making up for Clark's missing points, it was about the Fever discovering who they could be when everyone played their part. It felt like something special was building. But then came the real test. Dallas started clawing their way back, and the comfortable lead began to disappear fast. The Wings figured out how to break down Indiana's defense and started hitting the shots they'd missed earlier. Momentum shifted, and the energy turned tense. That's when Paige Buchers took over, putting on a jaw-dropping show. She scored 27 points and made WNBA history with a flawless stat line: 25-plus points, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 0 turnovers. It was the kind of performance that doesn't just win games, it changes careers.